who's going to be the energy guy this week?
I think it's still Coulson, isn't it?
Are we going to channel him or do some work post production or how?
You can channel your inner Coulson. It's dangerous.
Ugh. It is dangerous. My doctors actually warned me specifically about that. But we gotta do what you gotta do.
And you got to give the people what they want. And if that means putting my health at risk by too much Coulson channeling.
No, I'm exhausted from putting together an IKEA bed today, so I don't know if I have the energy. We'll see.
Did it go okay?
Yes. Well, we completed it by the end of the day. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
How many parts were left over?
Not too many.
Is it the right number?
Enough that I feel secure. Well, yeah. That's right.
Yeah, so just prepare to...
It'll be great.
It'll be perfect.
Y'all motherfuckers don't watch us play throughout the year, to tell you the truth. I'm gonna be real with you, and I don't care if I get fined.
That must be Jervis with them. String me down.
That train is off the tracks.
Who doesn't love the bouncy castle?
Hitler. Just prepare to... just prepare to be awash in undebeatable goodness.
Welcome, Pacers fans. You are listening to the Undebeatables, your semi-weekly Pacers podcast. Today is March 2nd, 2025, and this is episode 752. Coming to you from Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm your host, Joey Gaffrida, the man behind the dials. This show, we're going to discuss a 2-2 week of Pacers basketball with games against Denver, Toronto, Miami, and Chicago. Joining me this week are two of our analysts, coast to coast, like buttered toast. First, from the high school home of Jameson Brewer, Silver Spring, Maryland, it's the doctor, Jason Triplett.
What is up, Pacers fans? What is up, Undebeatables? Shout out to March, first and foremost. We're there.
Feeling that March Madness.
That's right. Second shout out to the Stand Up for Science rallies that will be happening here in DC and across the country on Friday, March 7th, in support of science, because some things are crazy here in the district, and science in particular is under attack. So if you feel so inclined, go to a rally or donate. I'll put a link in the show notes.
Yeah. From Tacoma, Washington, out west, it's our enforcer, John Harper.
What is going on, fellas? Birthday shout out this week to Boomer.
Boomer!
Oh, Boomer. Happy birthday, Boomer.
Shout out.
Guessing they don't give the number anymore. What is age?
It's impolite to ask after a certain number.
Yeah. That's fair.
And do you do it in cat years or human years?
Yeah, he actually has a birthday
years.
every month and a half or so.
My son claims to have 2 birthdays a year, and I can't talk him out of it. So.
When's his other birthday?
It's a month after his normal birthday. I don't know.
When he gets bored playing with the stuff from the first birthday, his second birthday.
Yeah. He's like, you know what I could use? Speaking of, happy birthday to my brother. March 1st was his birthday, so
shout out. Happy birthday, Matt.
Got to spend some time with him. We had a good weekend. And you know what, guys? Most importantly, happy Truck Month. I know It's a big deal. I know some of you, hits pretty close to home. So, particularly Colson, who's out celebrating today for that. Also, Mardi Gras, I guess, is going on too.
I think it's probably truck month.
Probably truck month.
He's got a hard hat on.
No shirt. Well, before we get into the show, remind listeners that they can celebrate Truck Month by supporting the longest running Pacers podcast by heading over to patreon.com/undebeatables. And you can support our show for as little as $1 per month. Well, guys, I had mentioned at the top we had two-week of Pacers basketball. 4 games this week. First one, Monday, February 24th. The second night of a back-to-back is a good way to start the week out, right? Pacers lose at home to the Denver Nuggets, 125-116. Not a bad showing, but undermatched, overpowered by Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, Nikola Jokic were the main offenders. Good night out of Miles Turner, who dropped 23. And Tyrese Halliburton with the 19 and 15 evening. I like to see 15 assists in a night. That's always something that's, I don't know. You got to go on those nights. But we still end up coming up short. Really wire to wire.
Yeah, Jokic had 19.
Second game.
So that won. That was the trump card.
Yeah. Second game of the week, still at home. Wednesday, February 26th, Pacers played the Toronto Raptors and stomped them down, 111-91. I was in the house for this one. I'll talk about that here shortly. But Pacers looked fantastic. Halliburton had it going. He had it going real good, particularly in the first half. Had 33 and 11 to end the game. Miles Turner, double-double, 18 points, 10 rebounds. Siakam had 15 and 8, but I thought he had a fantastic game, and Mathurin was pretty active off the bench. The one thing I can say about Toronto was they had 6 guys in double figures, but nobody really stood out for the night. Also, they were like pretty short on players. We were, before the game started, we were kind of commenting on, like, they had 7 guys out there for a while.
Talking trash about Jonathan Mogbo.
he got some minutes, so
He looked good.
yeah, he did. Friday, February 28th, Pacers head down to the Kaseya Center in Miami, taking on the Heat. Come up just short, 125-120. They looked good for much of the game, but could not hold on. I don't know if it was the club or, maybe it was long walks on the beach too late or something, but the Pacers didn't have it to finish the game. Pascal Siakam didn't seem to mind too much, 36 points for him. Miles Turner, 22. Tyrese Halliburton, another double-double, 19-10 for him. Duncan Robinson got 20 off the bench in 28 minutes for Miami. And Tyler Hero, of course, is picking up some of Jimmy Butler's slack and laid 29 on us. In the last game of the week, Sunday early evening, Pacers back at home, taking on the Bulls, Sunday, March 2nd, and take them down, 127-112. This game was closer than I liked for much of it, and the Pacers did pull away there at the end with some nice runs. Pascal Siakam, 20 points for him, 27 for Nesmith. I think he was 6 of 6 for 3. He looked pretty great. And Tyler Halliburton again, double-double, 17 and 12 for him. So, I guess first of all, Harper, we had 500 week of basketball. What are your takeaways?
It's always good to beat the Bulls, so that counts for 2.
Yes.
So I'm going to
That's
count
fine.
it as a winning week.
Mm-hmm.
The Nuggets are a tough matchup. Like Nikola Jokic playing pretty well when he drops 18 and 19 on you. They're just a good team, and catching them on the second night of a back-to-back didn't do us any favors either. So, bit of a schedule loss against a team that is going to be playing late in the playoffs this year. Obviously the disappointing game was the Heat loss. I guess they are now the Tyler Hero led Heat. Like that's a team that you should be able to find a way to beat. They did a better job at rebounding than we did when it mattered. They were one more 50-50 balls. A lot of live ball turnovers for both teams in this game, and whoever was committing them was losing. We just didn't do enough to control that down the stretch, and ultimately that plus leaving Alec Burks open in the corner all night hurt us. Should have been a 3-1 week.
Yeah, you're right about that. I thought the Denver game was actually pretty good. I thought we were down by 17 or something at some point, and clawed our way back into that game, and kept fighting at the end, even though it was like kind of out of reach. I thought the effort was really good. Denver's really good. It's hard to beat them on a second night of a back-to-back. If you want to, let's start with the positives. I think Tyrese is really rounding into form. He had
an all-star.
Fantastic week this week. I think he had a grand total of 4 turnovers in 4 games, like 1 each. And what's wild about them is they're the most ridiculous turnovers you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like the one in the what was it, the Toronto game or the Miami game that he just threw out of bounds, like the first play of the game or something. And then it was the Toronto
Heat game was late. He had that
the
one
Heat
where
game.
he
It was
just,
at the very end.
Got caught in the paint and just threw it to the other team. I was like, you're 4 feet away from the basket. At this point, you might as well just go, man.
Yeah. And Siakam, it was good to see Siakam get off the schneid. He was just cooking. It had been a while since we'd seen him in his bag like that, like he was against the Heat. And just a shame that
Wasted.
you shoot over 50%. I keep looking at the box score from the Miami game, and I'm like, how did we lose? Like, we shot over 50% from 3-point range on 40 attempts.
Yeah. Pascal hit 8 of 11. Steph Curry stuff, man.
And we only had like 10 turnovers. You were right, Harper. They were all super costly, though. So, this was a classic. We can't stop anybody.
Yeah. They shot 57% against us.
Yeah. They got whatever they wanted. Tyler Hero beat anybody that he wanted off the dribble. And we kind of got owned on the glass, too. So,
yeah. Caught a couple bad calls, I thought, down the stretch.
Sure.
Didn't help our cause, but as is often the case in this league, the aggressor tends to get the better of the calls anyway, so maybe not too surprising. Their effort was just good enough to win this one. Annoying.
Yeah, it was a classic annoying Heat game where you're like, really, Alec Burks, you're going to kill me right now?
Yeah. Davian Mitchell hitting important threes.
A huge 3. And it was like, it got swung to him, and I was like, yes!
Yes, exactly.
Exactly who we want shooting that shot. He just drained it. I'm like, oh, man.
Just nothing but the bottom of the net.
Yeah. And it's tough, too, because, if you look at the standings, where all of a sudden we slipped down to 5th place, Milwaukee's been on a bit of a tear. And Detroit is right behind both of those teams. So each, we're getting to the part of the season where every loss is, or every game you can point to being big. I didn't catch the Chicago game, so I'm glad that we beat them. I'm curious what your experience, Joey, was at the Toronto game. Was it because you had quite good seats? I understand.
Yeah, we were real low, and it was good. I mean, we were near the floor, and you can hear some of the chatter. I was particularly impressed with Miles Turner running the defense. That was kind of something I was paying attention a lot to, when he was on the floor, and just keeping everybody organized. It's a tall task to run a defense on a Pacers team, so he knows what he knows what work is cut out for him, but he does as good as a job as I think he can, keeping the team where they need to be and making sure people aren't getting too open and that sort of thing. Yeah, I mean, it's still when you get to watch the game down super low, it's still just like everything's impressive. They're just so fast. They're so big and they're so fast, and how quickly things turn from there's a turnover near midcourt, and then I know it's you watch it on TV, and I think Giannis is the biggest case, I guess, where he takes two steps and he's from midcourt to the hoop. But I mean, everybody's in that range where it's just a couple steps and it's a second or two and they're gone. And so any little mistake, and I was really impressed. I was impressed defensively with the Pacers, just how much effort they were putting, and just getting hands in the air, waving them like they cared. That was good. And yeah, seeing some of these guys that I didn't expect so much out of. On the Toronto side, Mogbo had a nice couple dunks. Toppin had some good stuff. Also seeing Ray J. Dennis out there. Could not. He got put in actually, so that towards maybe the middle of the fourth quarter, maybe earlier mid fourth quarter, he got put in, and Toronto made a little run. And I don't think he was necessarily at fault, but he's a bit undersized, and Toronto had gone on a bit of a run, and so they yanked him pretty quick, and he still got back out in garbage time. It's just, I like seeing, anybody who doesn't normally see the 40. There was a Furphy sighting, so I got to check that off my
your bingo card. Nice.
My bingo card.
Yeah, I felt bad for Ray J in that Toronto game. He got pressed into service. TJ McConnell missed that game and the Denver game, actually. And coach was trying to balance the point guard minutes and have either Halliburton or Nembhard out there at all times. But then Nembhard picked up his fifth foul early in the fourth, I think it was. And Halliburton wasn't quite, that's his time to rest. So it wasn't time for him to come back in yet. So poor Ray J is probably down there oh boy. Yeah. He just looked like a deer in the headlights for his, what did he end up getting? 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes.
Oh, I mean, yeah. And then a bunch of nothing on the box score. Yeah. But I guess he got a steal. No, that was Jarris Walker, sorry. He got a rebound and an assist. I thought Thomas Bryant, in the Toronto game and just in general, he just looks really happy to be playing, and he just is very energetic, and that was kind of cool to see up close. He just seems like he wants to get things done, and he's having a good time doing it. So in that Chicago game too, I thought it was kind of a similar thing where he's just very active and just he's dunking and getting all hyped, kind of a hype guy. I felt like just some energy, generally off the bench. But when Turner's in foul trouble or injured, he's gonna see even more of the floor. And it's not, it's not a big, he has a lot of things to offer, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, played well against his old team in the Heat too. He definitely got a chance to flex on them in the first half. I'm sure he would have liked to get that W.
Mm-hmm. Was it that Heat game or the Toronto game where he got like he got hit in the head or something like that, but they didn't call a foul, and then he for the next like 2 minutes was just yelling at the refs the entire time. Like it was unbelievable. He's just so animated. Yeah. Other things of note: the Pacers were also without Ben Mathurin for that Miami game and the Chicago game. I'm not sure what the report is there. Is he just sick or he has an injury?
No, we got I think a sprained shoulder.
Oh no. That ain't good. Hopefully not the same shoulder he had surgery on.
Sorry, wrist sprain.
Wrist, okay.
Left wrist. So
Yeah.
as good as it can be for a sprain, probably. Offhand.
Yep. Yeah, let's see. Okay, let's do a quick check of the standings. So, yeah, Milwaukee, 34 and 25. I guess they have the tiebreaker on us, so they're in fourth right now. Indiana, also 34 and 25. Excuse me, in fifth place. Detroit, 34 and 27. And they have won 9 of their last 10 games. And yeah, had a 8-game win streak snapped, I think, recently. Beat up on the Celtics earlier this week. And then it kind of falls off a cliff there. So currently...
Except that Miami team that just beat us.
Right. Sure. I meant games behind wise.
Yeah,
They're
no,
still
I'm with you.
yeah. So yeah, Detroit's a game back of Milwaukee and Indiana. Coming up this week, Pacers 1 game at home, March 4th, Tuesday, hosting the Houston Rockets. And then a really interesting Thursday and Saturday at Atlanta.
Or
And
maybe
that's
really
actually part of
boring.
a 3-game road trip. We go to Chicago the following Monday, basically.
Yeah, get another look at them. It looked like we had a little trouble adjusting to the new look Chicago team in the first half of that game. Post-trade, they're a much more high-paced team. They're trying to do what we did last year. But once we settled in, it seemed like we didn't have any trouble with them. And now that we've got that under our belts, we should be able to win that one as well. So, sweep?
I like a sweep. We've been playing well at home lately. That Houston team is gettable. I mean, they are
Not a gimme. Not a gimme
not
anymore.
a gimme. No, they're 37 and 23, which is 5th in the West right now. But they've been playing 500 ball for I think a bit.
Yeah. Record's better than us, and they play in the West.
Yes. Oh yeah, they are good. There's no doubt about that.
I'll take a 2-1. I think it's going to be too hard to beat Atlanta twice on the road.
Interesting.
With so many good restaurants, I mean, you can have anything fried there. Anything.
Yeah, that's true. I'll go 1 and 2. Sure. I feel like we're not good on the road, so I feel like maybe we'll beat Houston and then drop 2
dump
straight
ATL.
at ATL.
That'll be a sad week.
Yeah, Trey Young goes for like 60 in one of these games, I think.
The one that we win.
Yeah.
Oh, he's good at that. He dropped a lot in a lost. Like I think he's one of the. Maybe I'll need to task Colson with this, but see who historically has like big monster point games in a loss. Like who has the most 50, 60 point games where do they lose?
Like Harden for having a few of those.
Sure.
It's a good guess.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a boomerang next week. Maybe he'll get his basketball reference foo going. All right, guys. Well, I think that should wrap it up for this show. We'll be back with you on Thursday. And we got lots more to talk about, of course. Until then, you can find us on the internet. We are on Twitter at Undebeatables, Facebook.com/TheUndebeatables. TheUndebeatables.com is our website, and there's a contact form there if you want to send us a message. Shout out at TheUndebeatables.com is our email address, and the website /store is merch.
And for the architect, Donnie Walsh, and our once and all-time head coach, now in the Hall of Fame, Bobby Slick Leonard. Turn out the lights, the party's over.
Ooh.
Saucy.
I felt like there was like a Eddie Vedder appearance there somewhere.
Yeah. Little Vetter, little Just Cold.
You got any gigs coming up, JT?
No, we haven't practiced forever.
No.
I mean, we never practice. We do this shit every week, so.
That's true.
We do it live.